Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good time zone to you. We're going to do an Arena Cube draft. We drafted Vintage Cube yesterday on Magic Online. That was my first time playing Magic Online in about 3 years, and that was wild to reconnect with that game. The game I've played more than any other, and still feel fish out of water despite having played it that much, but I got used to it, and here we are, back here. Left it up to chat. There were some votes to go back to Magic Online today, but we also have an Arena Cube to practice for. I did qualify for the Decathlon Finals on Saturday. I am unlikely to stream it. I just generally don't stream on the weekends, but I'll sure give a tournament report on Monday, and if there's reasonable games to share via 17 lands or something, I'll do that too. But today we want to get some practice in. So I chose Premier so we can see a variety of other decks as we go through here. And I was telling chat before I started the YouTube portion that I'm going to lean towards aggro if the cards seem there, because I like to explore aggressive avenues if I'm being competitive about cubing and trying to figure out what's making a cube tick. It's really good to understand where aggro is at in a cube. And so I'm going to do that, but I'm also taking the bits of wisdom I'm hearing from the community. Alexis was here talking about her experiences and saying that she thinks there's a lot of traps in this cube, that the synergies aren't really functioning as well as the designer seems to have hoped, and that really we should be, the only synergies that are worth pursuing are spells matter synergies. So that's Alexis's current take on the format. I'm going to keep that in my mind as well, and that's how we notch our wins, thinking things out a little bit ahead of time, taking the bits of wisdom from the community that you can find, but then doing some science. So let's science this up. It's doesn't take rocket science to know where to shop for your Magic cards, though. That's pretty easy. Start with Card Kingdom. You're not always going to finish with Card Kingdom. Sometimes you're going to buy elsewhere, but Card Kingdom is a fantastic place to start. Their personnel are amazing, their inventory is amazing, and they ship stuff out hyper quick. And if they don't have what you want at the moment, their restock notice is incredible also. Just use my affiliate link from the various locations and let them know you got there from here. It helps keep me on the air. Thanks, everybody. Now let's draft. Why pay for it when you do it for free? Well, Rob, because you have every day for the last 17 years. That's one thought. Looks like we're missing somebody. Maybe a couple someones. But now I already have. I did give you a free one, so here, you can have it back. All right, cubing! It's time to cube! I like search for turn-over-turn value, but it's not very aggro. Lava Runner is. Boy, if we really wanted to force the aggro, we can take a Lava Runner here. There's no other red in the pack. Although Alexis's note on spells matter synergies being good makes me also take a look at Baral as a great spells matter card. Oracle of Moldiah next to Augur of Autumn is interesting to me. I think we would take Oracle of Moldiah before Augur, but these are interesting that they're both here. I really like Augur over Oracle. It is cheaper, but boy, I just love the double lands. It's almost like it maybe depends on the end deck, which one you'd rather have. Reanimator is a huge trap. Well, Taking Crypt Breaker and Train Wrecking, that's fair. Shieldred is a trap, says Alexis. Well, you know, Crypt Breaker is, that does do kind of the aggro thing, right? We can, well, black aggro-ish. I'm going to go Baral, though. I really love a Spells Matter deck, and Alexa says it's kind of there, so I'm willing to do that as a starting point. Demonic Tutor as a follow is pretty interesting. And yeah, I love a Brazen Borrower with Baral because the Petty Theft side is a single mana. Sailor, Mana War, Might Wheel, Watery Grave is important. What's up, Haj? Pact. Oh yeah, Demonic Pact. This is more of a build-around-y, right? Oh, Pact of Negation. Yeah, I was like surprised that you were considering that one. I didn't see the Pact of Negation. I honestly didn't realize that was on Arena, if I'm honest. But let's take Tutor. I mean, this is great. And it's even better at 1 mana. And Multiple Choice is pretty great at 4 mana. I like that. Cold Steel Heart, though. Love me some ramp, but Baral doesn't affect it, so I'm going to stick to Multiple Choice, I think. Reaper. Oh, what Reaper am I missing? Oh, Midnight Reaper. Yeah, that's fair. And Priest is fun, but you say synergies are a little bit not. So yeah, Reaper may be the best card here. Multiple Choice fits with Baral, but Demonic Tutor's our best card, so taking a black card to follow makes a lot of sense. David just likes the ramp. That's totally fair. It was the first card I noticed. That's a good point. Yeah, so, well, I wish I had time. I would put it to a vote, maybe. I'm going to go on Reaper. I'm a sucker for colored spells early. I like to find a lane. Even though, you know, staying open is great, too. Signals are great. Oh, Triomes are great. Yeah, I know, exactly. We're not really... Baral is just a card in our pile. Like I said, Demonic Tutor was our best card. Counterspell with Baral is interesting, although it's not reduced by Baral at all. Memory Lapse is. We could take a Memory Lapse. A lot of fixing here, so we could try to wheel a Drowned Catacomb or a Triome. Jadar as a follow-up to Midnight Reaper is pretty sick, though, right? Oh, sorry. Midnight Reaper is non-token. Oh, thanks. So it's not a combo. Not a combo. Still a good card, though. Oops. Well, I'll take a Memory Lapse. That's good, though. I thought I accidentally took a red card, because... Well, now we take an Augur, or an Edict, Helm. RB Sack is clearly trying to be a thing. Alexa says her experience so far has been that that the synergies that aren't spell-based are tough to make work. Yeah, White Weenie does seem like it's got some stuff here, but I think we're too late for that. It's too much quality to give up to bank into it. Although if you could get a full deck, if it was just wide open, we could get the full experience. Yeah, let's take the Edict though, because we might wheel the Augur. I like that thought. I'm gonna stick to black. I want to play this Tutor. Bubble Snare, not really the plan. This pack, not really the plan, kind of at all. Menace Lifelink 1/1. Yeah, I guess we take Valentin as a 1-drop black option. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, you may pay 2. If you do, yeah, it's really about... it really hoses certain strategies. And there's not much else going on here, and I do want to stick black, so I'm going to take it. It's a pretty unexciting pick here, though. But this is good. We're seeing, we're seeing some things that make me happy about where we're at. There is still a reassembling skeleton here. If we wanted to hedge, I mean, there's some sack coming around that this could work with, but I think we probably just want the cheap interaction. And let's go cheap. If we're gonna take the interaction, I mean, a mauling that can be a land or a removal spell is obviously great, but Heartless Act being 2 mana, potentially even 1 mana, is pretty sweet. I'm gonna take it. Well, I think we're in the right place. Look, we got a Thoughtseize here. Null Priest and Necromancer are in kind of the reanimation realm. Solemnity Vision does the Baral thing quite well. Delver is certainly a payoff for what we're up to, but I don't think it's an important one. I would rather just take the powerful stuff that's... So I think it's Vision for the flexibility, or Thoughtseize. And Thoughtseize in Cube is so brutal. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, wreck your plan. Let's do that. And then look, we were considering Crypt Breaker on the first time through. We do have Thassa's, but at this point we could drop the blue and not really look back. So I'm going to focus on the black. God Eternal, sure. You want to take Bantu? I'm more with Rob. Let's make zombies. I don't know if it's more on plan or not, but I'm taking it. Here's Siphon Insight, Demonic Pact, Watery Grave, though. We could take the Grave and see. I mean, this is interesting and pretty powerful, I guess, but if we're going to be blue-black, I'd rather have the land at this point. Good sign, though, that it's still here. That's a premium. Forgotten Gods is still here, too. I'm going to take that. Malakir Rebirth doesn't suck. Hey, now. Hey, now. You sit down. Whoa. We'll just take this land. I don't... is this... I should probably read this. I'm going to take the... too late to read it. I'm going to take the land. And we're going to take another land here. Looks like we can backdoor into several other black options. Scrapheap Scrounger is good in this deck as well as the last pick. Rankle. Wanderer. Wanderer probably wheels for us, so we're going to just wheel that. We can take Celebrant. We've got the Sanctum. And maybe that wheels. But really, Rankle is doing the thing anyway, right? I didn't want to just... It's funny. Instinctively, I look to the upper left because in normal drafts, that's where the rare and mythic sits. And I worry, like sometimes I gravitate towards the upper left choice in Cube just because it's the rare mythic slot. And so I like to make sure I'm not like tricking myself mentally into overvaluing the upper left card. I think the Celebrant is right on plan, but I also think it'll wheel. So let's just take Rankle and then see what comes back for us here. There's something good is coming back, either the 1-drop or the gold card. Valky just powerful. We have the Haunted Ridge we can play, and sometimes Imposter. Nobody wants Ayara but us. So that's ours on the wheel if we want it. Given that, I think it's about Awakening versus Valky. If you don't have the stones to try and wheel Ayara, you got to up your cube game. Let's take Valky. Because it makes your deck better? Yeah, Blood Mage is 2 bodies for sacrificing. Graveyard Trespasser. There's Battlefield Exile, so that's kind of... Yeah, that's not really for us, right? Blood Mage, though, is looking fine. Looking fine. This Triome is not ours. Hazard, not the worst, but not really where we're at. We could take an Insight even. But yeah, this is good enough. Let's take the Blood Mage. Eldest Reborn. Interesting. We got a Manipulator. We got a Lurrus. Permanent. Heck, we can almost companion Lurrus. Except we'd have to give up these two. We'd have to give up these three. I think we take it because we would just run Lurrus as a main deck card. But I'm just checking to see if we could potentially companion it. But yeah, and the answer is yes, potentially. But it has a big cost. Right now, it would cost us our all three of our cards in the top end. But it's possible that it's worth it if we get there. We'll see. Dusk Legion is a nice sack, and it doesn't preclude Lurrus. Judith is a real card. That's what I'm, Gary is legit for mono black. Yep. Serpent. This is a great pack for us, honestly. I'm not really sure what to do. You think it's Serpent? It does scale. It may be better than the Zealot that way. And I do love a Judith. And we're kind of close to it. But yeah, Stone Coil is really nice here. That's fine. Let's do that. And then Blood Artist is on plan. This is really coming together. We're going to have serious cuts. We should be taking lands highly at this point. Yeah, I don't even know what her spell book is. Like, these spell books, you just have to trust them a little bit. You like the Starnheim? Yeah, it's true. We might end up in white. We're looking to wheel that white card. But I'm going to... Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. Thanks. It's just too much to try and take in, but I'll still take the card. Disfigure is better than Dat Figure. Celebrant does come back as expected. Dread Wanderer really is the plan. Although I think is it Celebrant? I don't think we're blue anymore. You like Wanderer? There's a land, you're right. Celebrant or Wanderer was the choice. And see, Rob, like, people who aren't, we were clearly the only heavy black drafter, and people who aren't heavy black aren't even seeing this card. They're not even seeing this card. Priest, sacrifice, return card. Well, Shelter though. If we're gonna be white, Shelter is kind of interesting. But I guess take the Priest. Icy for control. Timuret for, I guess, just making tokens. We're kind of doing that thing. I'm gonna take Timuret. Icy, like, if we shouldn't need it. Hey, look, I was gonna take this, and we were talking about this. We can have either one. Probably Gary. That's a maybe. Yeah, we have a deck here, and it's we're just at the end of pack 2, so serious cuts ahead. Dracolich, probably the pick if we're focusing on mono black. Unbreakable Formation, not the worst. Animation module. We're not really doing that. Just checking. Dollhouse of Horrors is kind of interesting. Yeah, Dollhouse is real. We got a lot of stuff that's just activated ability dense. Probably, but this is also straightforward non-plan. I'm going to take this. Maybe we'll wheel Dollhouse. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Dollhouse. It's really doing a powerful thing. But and Ebon Death probably more likely to wheel. I kind of ran out of time on that one, but even as I'm onto this pack, I think I should have just taken the Dollhouse there. Are we running white? Right now, we don't really need to. This priest isn't that good. We have... Did I not take the other one? What did we take in that? I thought I... Oh, we took the Wanderer, right. Yeah. So Blood Crypt further supports just playing the other side of our Valky. That's been called. Triton probably wheels and isn't that important. Yeah, I guess we take Blood Crypt because nothing in this pack is super important to us. Right now, I don't think we're doing this. Right now, we're just mono black. Hostile becomes playable in that sense, and because we're also doing the sacrifice thing, except this is going to wheel. Again, I don't think anybody wants to do this. So let's take Inscription. This is powerful. Kaya, pretty splashable here with the Sanctum, although it's the only one we have. What else? Is there anything on plan? No, nothing on color here. We could do Pharaoh's Gift. This kind of does something, you know, it's a somewhat of a dollhouse effect, right? Lantern. If we were best of 3, I would be considering this. I don't love running this main in best of 1. Courier isn't ridiculous given the given that stuff, but I'm gonna take Kaya. This is best of 1 though, so I'm gonna take Kaya and we'll see. But right now, I don't probably not even playing her. That wasn't really a super relevant pack. Fatal Push for cheap interaction, or let's read this Mythic. I don't know this Mythic. So pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature. We like that start. Put a -1/-1 counter up to 1 target creature and draw a card. Yeah, let's... I mean, this probably wheels as well, but let's make sure we get this one. Temple of Malice continues the red splashing. Bolas's Citadel. Are we doing it? Math says yeah. All right. Yeah, we do have some life gain. It's true. More options for red splashing. Sign in Blood, though. Cruel Reality. Do you want to try and win this way? I think we probably just need dual lands. We're making so many cuts now. Let's just take a... Although, the thing is, we don't even need dual lands. Like, it's not even that important to do the Valky thing. Although, cyclable dual land is just nice to be able to cycle away when you don't need it. Shade is fine and works with the sack stuff. Expert is fine, too, and is also decent fodder, but Shade is, like, endless fodder. So we'll take the endless fodder over the decent fodder. Command becomes a very playable pick for us. I like it. Triton probably doesn't make the cut because our deck is so darn good. Might even want to deem worthy, but we have some removal as well, so I'm going to just take the Triton and put it in the board. I just want to see where we're really at pick-wise here. 28. Like, cut 5 from here. All right. You can work that. Hostile comes back. Since we're talking about cuts, I'm not going to consider... I mean, Harvester gains life, so there is that. We're doing some things that potentially hurt us. But... yeah, that's true. Shale has a black side. Thank you. Put it on here and then... well, too late. I think I wanted the land anyway. We have this courier we can consider. Do we get any triggers from sacrificing something itself? You know what I mean? Like, for example, sacrificing the courier to itself does not trigger Priest of the Forgotten Gods, right? It triggers things like Blood Artist, but it's not a combo with, like, I can't sack it to the priest and get all the value, right? But it does have interactions with Blood Artist and Reaper for sure. Interesting. Well, should we do it this way? Just go from best to worst and see where we land? Demonic Tutor, we're playing. Playing our removal. At least our Heartless Act removal. I'm going to hold on the Disfigure for now. And I'm going to go to big card. And we're just going to kind of go through and find the obvious. This is a Dread Wanderer deck. We want these cards that come back after sack. Although this one, you know, like, you have to be near Hellbent, which is not really where we want to be here. Like, what's the other one? I think it was in one of the latest Ravnica sets that it's more of the... it must have been from the Rakdos, the Allegiance. But, like, Oppo has been dealt damage would be better, for example. You think the Disfigures are for sure? Sure, let's put it in. Blood Artist for sure. Like, Edict, maybe not for sure. Like, it's really not good against some decks. And if we have enough else going on, we might not need it. Jadar's going in. We're going to try this Witch because it's a die trigger. Thoughtseize, too good not to play. But I'm Crypt Breaker. I want fodder. I want sacrifice effects. I want raw power, right? We want sacrifice effects, sacrifice fodder, and raw power. And so we're going to take that. I will take the Dread Wanderer. We're going to take Priest. This is recurring. This is recurring, but tougher recursion. You want to cut the breaker for now and decide? We can do that. Valky for sure. Ayara for sure. Just too much power. Blood Mage is fodder, so it's definitely doing that. This is power. I think we just want to run that because of the power level. Yeah, Valentin makes fodder too. Got to play Reaper. I'm going to leave this on hold just because it's still... I get it. Oh, it's value if you go late game. You think this looks awful? I mean, I can hold it. I can cut it for now if you think it looks awful. It's not awful. It's just flexible. But maybe we don't want to try and get to 7 mana. Because you're right that on 3 mana it's a little whatever, but it does... It's going to do something... maybe less... at 7 it's value, and at 3 it's toolbox. Rankle's got to play. Too good. Gary's got to play. Too good. We got to do Yawgmoth. Totally on plan. You're not. We're just taking it slow. We're just going top to bottom, right? Best to worst, in a sense. Making sure we're playing our best stuff and then coming back to that. And I think we go ahead and we do want to command in these. And now it's looking good because, like, the cuts, this is definitely the right way to do this one. The cuts feel a lot easier taking this approach. because now we're just taking a look at, I don't think we want, well, do we want any more red cards? We can put it in there, but we're now just looking to fill out the final 4 slots here. I think we want 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 17 is correct, I think. We're not going to, we could do 16, I suppose, but with a Serpent, and I think we have enough to do with mana that we probably just want this, and we have a, you know, a potential 7-drop in Tybalt. So I think we want that. And then, yeah, we can put Valentin in over, like, start here over Crypt Breaker, but Crypt Breaker makes fodder as well. But you do have to pitch cards. No joke there. Blood Mage might do it a little. Yeah, and this is interaction of some kind, so is Edict. Ebon Death. Yeah, that's why I didn't snap it in there, but not like we're heavy at 4. It probably belongs. You like Timuret Calls the Dead? We got 3 slots. No, we haven't moved past it. We're talking about, I think we don't want anything on this screen though, right? This screen is dead to us. So it's this screen, and we're adding 3 of these, and I'm just going to poll it, and we're going to look for some clusters of votes see if there's 3 obvious candidates. So let's go 40 seconds for Citadel, Timuret, Ruin, Callous, Edict. Maybe this is too many votes. Well, it's all right. We'll do a couple. I'll copy this poll, and I'm gonna make it shorter. We're gonna do a quick one. So you gotta get your absolute favorite ready, but we're gonna do a couple polls and work this out. Crypt for Crypt Breaker. And anything, I don't think we want Triton or Scrounger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could put them on the list. We could run this just because it's kind of free. So then, all right, you want Triton, so I'll put it on the list. Triton, and I'll put on Scrounger on too. We'll put all the possibilities. All right, quick one, and then we'll narrow it down. Maybe I'll just run it 3 times and we take the winner each time. Citadel and Ruin. All right, so let's just add both of those. Citadel and Ruin. And then for the last one, we'll cut those 2 and just see what you think of these final options. Nice, this one is tight. Callous with a close but clear though, so we'll do it. Let's call this a deck. Let's name this a deck. A sacrifice joke that's not obvious. Or a mono, well, it's not mono though, we have a red splash, so I don't even want to call it that. No, we're gonna, land is last, We'll oh, I can adjust that while we, I don't think we need, boy, do we need any? I guess 1 gives us 4. We don't really have any other fixing though, so maybe we even want 2. But boy, I really want, I don't want Ayara to be stuck in hand on 3 is the thing. So, like as I said, this is not exactly right for the deck, but we seem to be, yeah, 2 mountain. It almost makes me just want to cut the command, because if we cut the command, we go to 0 mountains, and then we have guaranteed Ayara on 3 if we have the, you know, at least all of our, well, and then I'm playing the hostile, so yeah, I think I'm going to give Alexis that nod and cut the Wanderer and add the Crypt Breaker. I think that's true. Or even the Triton or the Scrounger. I don't know. And I think I want to do that. I think, because I think you're right, Math. Like, the red card kind of demands 5 sources to have a card that we cannot do anything with without red mana. I think I would rather have because now I'm willing to run the hostile and have the 1 blank on turn 3 Ayara, but then everything else supports the Ayara, and we have stuff we'd like, you know, we can swap in anyway. We could still play command, but should we, Rob? I mean, is a 3 land splash enough? Is that card powerful enough to do that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's not plenty. It's not plenty. It's the lowest acceptable. I don't know how, like, that's hyperbole, Rob. Like, how can you call 3 plenty when it is truly the lowest acceptable number? You say plenty, I say barely acceptable. Especially cube. That is also fair. But nobody is saying 3 land is plenty for turn 3. Really? It says sack on it, you know. But it is pretty, you're right. I don't even know why it's in the cube. Fine, I'll cut it too. Let's just make Ayara, you're safe. How about here? I'm going to go with throwing shade, because I'm throwing shade at Rob. And kind of what we want to do in this deck is sacrifice this shade for value over and over again, like we're throwing that at him. So we're throwing shade. We do. And I think I'm cutting the red. So now we're back to, all right, I'll pull it again. So we have Citadel in, we have Ruin in, we have Callous in, and then so we're looking at, oh, and I have Crypt in. But I'll add back Dread. So if you think the Wanderer should be our final card, you could do so. Oh, do I not have? Oh yeah, I got to add Ebon Death to the list. Sorry, Ebon should have been there before. You know, I kind of like Ebon. Yeah, it looks like it's winning pretty handily. Mono can do. Let's go with this one. Beautiful ugly. And we'll put the shade as our box. Right on. There was one on Star City Games. Samuel, I didn't finish reading. I might even have it up because I was, let's see. No, I don't have it up, but Star City Games had a free article on this cube here. It gets out of whack. Why did these zeros get down here? I didn't put you there. I'm switching views anyway, but I like purple black. Yeah, I'm a big fan of purple black in Magic. I got to do one of these weeks. I'm going to do a Wooburg theme that is the not Wooburg colors that Magic uses still in those slots, because I don't know what I do for like green, and some of them don't, but like white is yellow and black is purple, that kind of thing. This is let's keep. I could disfigure that, but we're going to just Valentin it up here and see if there's a better target. Colorless is brown for sure. Just Lola, is this... It's not Luca, is it? So would they kill it with fire? Sure. Well, Blood Artist. It's Lola? Cool. Go Crypt, tapped, Heartless Act, the Annex. That seems correct to me. Untapped, kill both. Yeah, I guess I could have. Fair enough. Although that's 2 damage. If they don't pump the lava runner, I've saved damage. But I've denied myself a mana to do so. Keeping our life total higher with a Thoughtseize ahead. Well, Thoughtseize, or just, we can make it 3/3 and try to start blocking. This says Aftermath, 2 damage to target creature, 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Yeah, let's just make a big blocker here. Try to stabilize. Sorcery. Injury is sorcery, but if we block, Lola could finish off our Serpent after combat. That wouldn't be the worst, though. No, I don't think we have a Gary meme. Geez, I practically want to tutor for land at this point. But we have removal and a Thoughtseize. I think we just disfigure the Lava Runner and then take a look at the hand. It hurts us to do so, but it's probably going to help. You think Thoughtseize first? I suppose maybe we see something that we save the Disfigure for, although we could just Thoughtseize it. But if we're going to Thoughtseize, we should do it first. You're right. Interesting. Daredevil is going to have to be what we take, and we're going to hope we get him dead before Dollhouse and Commander come online. That's a bit risky, but they're at least two. He's at least 2 turns away from it. Well, Draco Lich incoming. Gary to stabilize. Uh-oh, there's land number 4. I can tutor up. Like, we know these are a problem. Maybe, let's see. What do we have that answers any of this? Luris could be an interesting get. Tutor for Swamp is... command? What command? Oh, but I don't have it in. We're not playing red. I was wondering what you're talking about. Well, let's start with an attack. Although this can block, right? Maybe I'm supposed to block. Yeah, let's send, and then... kind of think we go tutor for a land, actually. Because then we get 5 in the air, plus Cryptbreaker, plus Gary next turn for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get 5 here. Oh, Rob, pay attention. I mean, we had this conversation. You were the one I talked to about it. I'm going to ensure Gary. I guess I could have gotten the better land, or, getting a different land, but this is fine. I just was, because I was too busy raging at Rob for having an entire conversation with me and then saying, what, you're not doing the thing that we had an entire conversation about where you told me you're not doing the thing? Rob. Interesting. Gotta take it and win. Oh, we win on the crackback, though. All right. Yeah, but I told you I wasn't going to. Listen to me when I tell you that I'm not playing it, and don't... Rob. Rob is just out for me. No, don't we win? I count win. Who was right? I don't know, Rob. Let me adjust my record to 1-0. Bing. Good work. Bye. Well earned, Rob. Well earned. Do not let him out for at least a minute. Keep. Could even Stone Coil on one with the Blood Artist in the Ayara. Do you want to do that? Oh, it's sacrifice another black creature, though, so that doesn't do much. But, yeah, probably not. We'll go Valky on one, or Valky on two, Ayara on three, and then have Artist Serpent options after that. Thoughtseize, you're late. You would have been a perfect turn one play. As it is, now I am going to Valky and Thoughtseize. Well, wait, this is hand, right? Yeah. So we'll Valky as a Thoughtseize instead. Maybe next turn we go Blood Artist, Thoughtseize, although we probably still go Ayara next turn. Woohoo! Hello! Well, we're going to take away their 3-drop. This is the power of Thoughtseize and of hand disruption. We get to take Rada, and next turn we can just take Embercleave or Halana. But starting with Rada. Heck, might turn Valky into Rada. If we want the 4, then we can take it still. I just figured it didn't matter because we're gonna get one or the other. And I like taking the 3 first, because then we can take a turn off of messing with their hand and mess with their hand again on turn 4. You like flipping Rada? I can't prioritize that when I have a hand to develop. It feels like putting too much egg into this basket for this stage of the game. Against, I mean, we know they're cards, so that's fair. But there's just a lot more value in getting Ayara going, I think. Take a look. Glory Bringer, bring in the glory, but we can take, should we just take the 4-drop that we know they can do something with and get in, or are we looking long game here? They're both great, so I guess we just take the cheaper one, right? I mean, they don't even have 5 mana yet per se, so I think we gotta. Glory Bringer is rough, but they're both rough, and this one's 4. So let's take the one that's 4. I can't believe I'm not forcing them to discard Embercleave. That's the part that seems ridiculous, but we might actually find that we can race Embercleave with the Blood Artist incoming. Serpent does have reach. Are we letting Valky go here? No. I don't think we're going to trade Valky. We're going to flip that over. Should have attacked first. Well, I wanted to see their hand, and then I like having a Blood Artist out before attacks, so... Yeah, threaten the transform. You can see what I was doing it the order I did it. I see what you're saying though. The threat of activation works there. Reaper is pretty cool. Could just make a Stonecoil Serpent, but I like I guess we can play Stonecoil and hold this up. They might exert... Yeah, let's do this to... because if they get a 5th land, they got Glorybringer. And this is a nice thing to have in the event of a 5th land for Glorybringer. And I kind of like leaving up Ayara, because if they do get the Glorybringer, having Ayara... Well, I guess they're going to go for Ayara, so maybe... they might go for Valky, right? So let's... Hey, Nantuko! Welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. That's true. So do you want... I know, but do you want to attack with Ayara is the question. I'm going to let the hourglass go for this question. You just like saving it back for responses? That was my instinct, but my instinct is to try and get him dead, right? So it's a tough one. All right, we'll end it. Also, if we get a 6th land, we can go Reaper, flip Valky as a interesting turn. Pablo! Not long time no see, but obviously good to have you. And that's a good, they still are missing their 5th land. That's a pretty good play for them. But still feeling good about their lack of land. It does. But at least they didn't have it this turn. And if they're going to tap creatures to get mana next turn, better than a land, at least. It delayed him a turn, I think. Hey, Gary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can drain him for 7. They probably don't want to block the Serpent, it's true. We can even play the Reaper and just try to Gary them next turn. I like Reaper, Gary them next turn. Oh, I makes it 8. I just miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and yes, the damage. I see what you're saying. I was just counting pips. Yeah, that's interesting. If this becomes a copy, do we lose the... I guess we lose that, but I'm going to start... Yeah, let's start by sending the snake. All right, winning the game's all right. I like the win the game plan. Chat's always so boring with the whole win target game instead of control target board. I don't know what's wrong with them, but you got to play to your audience. Thanks, Nan. Yeah, we found our lane and had a playable deck after 2 packs. It was just... the deck building was all about, what do we cut? Actually, the deck building was, let's cut everything and rebuild from our best to our worst, because there's so much going on. Oh, wow. Yoda for Link. Yoda. Isn't that just a? It's a little swap. Little swap. And the off-kilter boxes are tilting D, so we'll leave them. Start with a witch. Next turn we have Disfigure with the Canyon in play. Although actually maybe we're supposed to cycle this. Nah, we're trying to get to Citadel. We're not going to cycle it. We don't really have a great play next turn besides the Serpent, but we do have the Serpent, and I would play it on 3 with nothing else to do, so I'm going to Disfigure the Pyromancer. Even though it's not a hugely important creature, all the creatures are important when you're battling red aggro. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to do that. One of my leaks might just be the strong desire to spend all my mana. While it's a good heuristic, sometimes I might overspend. Like, I could wait here, I could hold up the Heartless Act and try to get a bigger Serpent, but I think we just are going to use the strength of this card, which is that it scales to any turn. I don't even know what day that anniversary is or anything, you know? Oh, that's a great Cathar target, because I could kill the Cathar, but this comes back as a 0/0, so that thing's just dead. That being said, I can't just let this flip, so my inclination is to kill it. I mean, because if I let it flip, then I gotta pay 3 life to kill it, so I guess we just gotta kill it. Hey, Serpent! Oh, bye, Serpent. Too bad we didn't have some sack triggers, you know, some death triggers. Well, maybe we were lining up and I just didn't play it right, but this is okay. Like, it would have been, like, we could still have a Heartless Act and just have disfigured this thing. And then Heartless Act would certainly be helping out here. But we're about to Citadel with a decent life total. Do we chump? Oh, it's not even a chump. We can block with the Witch if they don't make anything bigger. They have a land they can attack with. Well, because this is exactly like Scotty. The reason why is because it's how Magic functions as a codable enterprise, right? Like, if you want to, it's the type of exception that if you had made, like, that you would take away so that you could code this game. You code it to come back on the board because that's just how Magic works. Okay, I kind of like. It is a free block, but it is 4 life off our Citadel, whereas we could chump 3, only go to 16, and have Citadel off 16. So I was just thinking about that, but I suppose the difference between 4 and 2 isn't quite enough, because it does actually kill the creature. Gary is nice to see. Citadel is going to allow us to. We're going to get some life back off of that, and makes the Citadel so much better. Yeah, this deck can't block, but I should play. Yeah, although we do probably play Gary next turn. Yeah, we get a little life back on the pip. That's the dream. We're definitely playing a 7th land. And we just hope we have a string of spells that effectively become free, like this, because we get the life back with Gary. What? Oh, I'm not even looking. Oh, yeah. I see what you're all saying now. I was like, what are they talking about? Well, we still got to go look, right? So let's go look for it. Oh, sorry, but I can't play that. Wait, does it allow me to play? Oh, sorry, that was me not reading. My bad. I thought lands were a stop. That was a big mistake. But it was me not knowing my card. So give me the insert reading meme here. I don't count punts, I just talk about them. Killing the punt counter was the best thing I ever did with this stream. Truly. That and timing out D and Rob whenever they get super annoying. This is a little... I know this is aggro, but we're looking to deal with this or die. So I'm just trying to, you know, it's what we've got. Next person who tries to punt when I have turned it off is going to get muted. Oh, no, it's fine now. You have an excuse. Well, I think we got by the Ferocidon at just the wrong time. Man, we were looking so good, too. Now I don't feel like we have any outs. So we'll Gary, but if we play this, we're dead. Sack Citadel. How am I sacking the Citadel? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Non-land permanent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've never sacked a Citadel in my life. Like, I forgot. Speaking of not reading this card, like that last ability, I've never seen anybody activate it. Anyway, no attacks. Funny that my land play ended up that, you know, everybody cascading the punts. It didn't even matter. We actually ended up cruising through cards and were not stopped by a land. I'm not saying it wasn't a mistake. I'm saying I got away with one. All right. Well, one card got us. Our deck was doing exactly what we wanted that game. Not exactly. We were a little bit clunky before we got to 6, but we got to 6 with a high life total, had the Gary, coming up Millhouse, and then no life gain. No life gain was the backbreaker there. Oh, Nantuko, I just get humbler and humbler by the mistake. Certainly, correcting my opinion of myself as a Magic player is one of the better, more interesting upsides that streaming has produced. And I say correcting, I wasn't that far off. I'm a very good player, but I have leaks that I was not being honest with myself about that that streaming has had just grabbed me by the scruff and forced me to look at, you know? And it's not like I didn't know I made those types of mistakes, but there's nothing like making those mistakes day after day, again and again, in front of a lot of the same audience to drive home that it's a bigger leak than you thought it was. So I downgraded my perceived skill at this game a couple of notches after I started streaming, because I was able to solidly identify where I was failing more than I had been honest with myself about. I think it's just non-land permanence, at least. So you can make tokens, right? This is good. Valky into Ayara, into Midnight Reaper, or maybe Reaper into Ayara. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oof, good looking hand. We're taking the Thief, of course. Probably flipping into it next turn, honestly. New plan. I resisted before Eggs in Basket, but Thief is so powerful I'm into flipping it, especially since we know that their hand, well, it destroys, Swift Response destroys it though. So let's keep that in mind. So probably we don't do it this turn. Unless we want to just accept it, they take their Thief back. Now that we have Disfigure, we can untap and kill the Thief. So maybe it's okay. We can even Reaper, and then we get a draw off it. I think I do that. Honestly, I didn't think I could even cast the Valky side last game, so not considering it was a mistake. I don't know if we were supposed to cast Tybalt. I didn't think we could, honestly. So now we're going to disfigure the Thief and drop Ayara. Yeah, the drawing the Disfigure was why we executed the last turn the way we did, because I was willing to give them the Thief back knowing we could pick it off. I still think the world overrates that card, honestly. I mean, I like Epicure and I play it, but I think the community still thinks it's amazeballs when it is just good. Luris into Valky is nice too, yeah. Where's Hat? Well, 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 which of these beauties do we deal with? I guess we take Scarab God? Because flipping into Golos is not as good as flipping into Scarab God. Boy, Rob just wants to spend all his time out today. I don't even know. We'll solve that problem when we come to it. Scribe to the top, which means probably they are no longer short of Golos activation. There's no way a 1 mana 1/1 is a B. No. No. You got me on C+. Epicure is a C+. You like Oh, yeah, for field. Yeah. So they might be short color-wise, it's true. What are we doing? I guess let's flip to the Scarab God. But C+ is definitely higher than I had Epicure on at the start of the format, right? So I did come up on it. I should have. It didn't seem like it mattered. They were never going to block. I mean, I don't, I could have robbed, but this is one of those spots where that really didn't matter, I don't think. We can play this tapped and do a Serpent next turn for as big as we can get it. They got zombies now. If we... What makes Epicure good is the toolbox of little things that adds up to a card plus. Yeah, Epiphany is real tough here. This might be one of the better cards in the cube. Certainly first pickable. Certainly build aroundable. Certainly a plan to get to. So let's just play this out. I don't know what you even mean, D. I mean, I've got like this. I don't know how to win from here. This is frustrating. Let's see. I guess we could draw off of the Dean and then recast it. Might as well send this. Gain life, draw a card. But if we play the Stone Coil, I mean, they just do this, right? So like we got to understand when we want to trigger. Like Epiphany's got to happen. It's too late, Arcanite. We already did, but we can do it again. Let's discuss Epicure. That's true. We can just go ahead and make him do it, and then we can like what is? But we can't. Interesting. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Okay, I'm gonna make him do it. I like it. Well, here's what I was thinking, Alexis. They have to Epiphany it. I guess they get to... Trouble is they get to bounce the Scarab God. They get their Scarab God back. I don't know. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, I don't think... I was trying to figure out a way to force them to use the Epiphany in a way that's good for us, but it just doesn't seem right. It's true now, Dugo. There's just a bunch of other stuff going on with the Epiphany. If all it was whether or not we could recast the Stone Coil Serpent, that's fine, but there's a lot more on the Epiphany going on. They have a double block on the Scarab God, and it's theirs. If we attack with this, well, they get it back anyway, it looks like. We get a lot of cards. And we get to make a lot of these. Oh, I guess not a lot. We did get Valky back, so we can just steal that thing again. And now the Epiphany is... Can we just... How do we get, like, quick win? Tybalt. Yeah, let's just play Tybalt, and then that's nutsies. Boo earns. Crypt Breaker then. Maybe we should have thought about that and just overwhelmed them with small stuff. I kind of just went with chat on that one because Tybalt's obviously awesome. But when an opponent with double blue and up, and you got a fistful and a ton of mana, there's a lot of sense to just overloading possible possible counter magic. That being said, that's what we're going to do here. At least Epiphany is now not that great on this board. Let's play like a Shade. I'm not going to kick this. I just want to... yeah, we'll start holding land for Shade. Good point. I don't think it's really going to matter. What's going on here? Callus... I'm trying to get them to counter something here, Mike. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm trying to cast stuff before attacking. Because if I can just make them do it, then now we finally got it out of their hand, right? And I can't sack anything or anything. Okay, so nothing to sack there. Now I'll attack. Although we can wait. Do we want to discard? Now we're going to play both of those creatures. Yeah, Wrath number 2. Very likely. Good. But we can't really play around it. Got to try to get him dead. I mean, maybe we could. Maybe we could leave some back. But we even have... some recursion. My thought was to get them to commit to their Sublime Epiphany before I attacked, but perhaps that was not well thought. Thing is, I don't have time to well think. I got these hourglasses that tick down, you know, and make it a little tough. So that hurt. Jeez. Could send in a 2/2 and a 3/1. Scarab God eats 1. Let's start with... I think we should get in for 2, or for the trade. And then let's take a look after that. So now land Shade over... I mean, Crypt Breaker we can also discard. Well, Shade is better though, right? So we should just do this for a Shade. And really, I think I want to kick this now, since the Scarab God has to respect it. You like a large snake? and we still get a large snake too. We get 2/5 power creatures, right? So they both threaten lethal. Yeah, great point. This is gold. This has pro gold. Can block this though, and it's got lifelink. Ugh! That is so unfair! That's mine! Still a very interesting game though. This, well, it can block it, it just doesn't trade with it, right? Or my... Oh, right, no, sorry, Luris is a gold card. It just doesn't look... Oh, is it? Is this gold or black? I can't even tell. The frame says black, the mana says gold. Frame says black. And the rules on Scarab God probably say black. Except it's a 4/4 black zombie. Ebb and Death is interesting. If we just wanted to hang back here, we can instant this in and just try to win in the air next turn. Swing All, they kind of have to double block. They're at a virtual 8, so they double block the Serpent with the black creatures, and this is dead. They trade for the Shade, and then they're at 8, taking only a smattering of damage. So that doesn't look good. Ebb and Death, end of their turn is looking better. Oh, discard. Yeah, I guess I could discard... Yeah, good call, Rob. I like it. Very, very clever, Rob. Sometimes if you leave Rob unmuted, he comes up with a good play. Because we can force some death here, and... Like, this is in speed, so we can even, like, surprise him with it. We just go like this, and like this. If they... Well... Except, I don't want to give him any life. I don't want to give him any life. So, that's the problem with the play, Rob. So I'm going to pass. I'm just going to play this at end of turn. Mike says swing all. Mike's a sharp cookie, but... Yeah, that's another great point, Arcanite. They had an answer to that. Hopefully they send their thief. But I don't see why they would, given our Serpent. Boy, this slipped away from us, man. Man, okay. Actually, that is great. I love it. That is perfect, because now maybe they commit to the thing that gives us a swing for the win. Yeah, but we Energy tap, but it's got flash. Yes, we could do the discard thing. Except they still have the mana from Scarab God, so no, we actually can't. Oh, yeah, I guess they can turn it, make a reach zombie. Darn it. Man, I keep thinking we have ways through, and then we don't. So maybe I have to put him to the test. We could try and make him do it to the Draco Lich, but what does that get us? Oh, do they not have enough? I thought they had the mana. Why wouldn't they just do this Scarab God in response, Alexis? I see. It goes on the stack. That's fair. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Magic's hard. But that does make sense. Okay, so we'll do it this way. Does it? Well, anyway. This is a little weird. Because don't we have to let them act first? Yeah, it has flash, but if we go for it... Oh, yeah, it puts it on the stack. It puts it on the stack right away, so it doesn't give them a window to do it. God, Magic is hard. Whew. This is why it's had to be fixed to be codable. Man. And that's a great point, too. We have 2 casts. JC seeing that we could just respond with another casting of it if it didn't leave the graveyard. Now we just got to make him see the serpent, but seems like a good opponent who's going to. Can we do anything with this? Mana value 3 or less, but it's a sorcery. But I can... I could return it. I could make them do it. If this was an instant, we'd be in good shape, but it's not. Crypt can draw, that's true. They're not attacking. Should we do that? I like it. Let's take a look at a card. Yeah, not gaining life would be good. Sorry, I'm playing... I'm at 0 hourglasses here, gang. I'm gonna... Ah, cancel. I just ran out of hourglasses, gang. Magic's hard. Does that allow me to get it back? If a creature not named. Yeah, I thought that had a rule about that. So I could cast the inscription, though. Kill Luris, and then I can do it, right? Scarab God. I can't believe we're even around this long into a game with their active Scarab God. It's ridiculous. Like, it's just... ridiculous. Utterly brutal. Maybe a better player finds a win there. That was a complicated game. I'm not sure what part you didn't understand after we sorted it out, D, but basically, so we have this card that says you can cast this from your graveyard with flash if something else died this turn. And the trouble is, Oppo had an instant speed, steal, remove a target from the graveyard. So our problem was, or my worry was, oh, I can't discard my Eben because if I discard and then try to cast it from the graveyard in response, or if I try to go for it, my opponent will just pull it out of my yard, right? And then I won't be able to cast it. But the reason why it was safe to do is because when we activate our discard effect, it's not in the graveyard yet, so they can't do it while it's on the stack. And then the priority goes to them with the activation on the stack. They let it go. Boom. Ebb and Death hits the graveyard. Now we have priority. So they can't do anything yet until we decide what to do next. And it doesn't even matter what we decide to do next, because we had 8 total mana, 8 or more mana. So there were a couple things going on. We could either go ahead and just try and cast it. And the thing is, it was fine because since we had priority and we chose to cast a thing, it leaves the graveyard and goes onto the stack before our opponent ever has priority. So it was totally safe to do, solely because of the fact that by casting it, we put it on the stack and it is no longer available for exiling. However, JC pointed out we had 2 layers of security, because even if for some reason in the Magic rules that didn't work, and they did have time to exile it before we could put it on the stack, we had 8 total mana. So if for whatever reason the first attempt failed because they reacted somehow, we had a second attempt in the queue that we could do in response as well. That wasn't even needed. The putting it on the stack by casting it was a guaranteed way around the Scarab God, but just as a backup plan, we also had 8 mana. So that's what was going on there. Man, I feel like a pro player probably finds a win there. I'd have to go back and watch the replay and really think it through, but feels like we had windows that I might have missed. All right. Wasn't that the previous game, though? I was talking about last game. You're trying to win the other game I lost. Oh, no, you're talking... I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, the 7 mana... I think we had a Valky decision in both games, right? A Tybalt decision in both games that affected things. Yeah, I hear you. Well, we're obviously going to offer our shade for that Paradise Druid, but in case they take, I guess I'll wait until after attacks to play a land. And then Blood Artist, since we could hold up a Heartless Act for the Druid, but we'll just try and get whatever they ramp out with this, and we'll go Blood Artist for now. Maybe just go Yawgmoth's position next turn, and then we can start doing Shade Yawgmoth nonsense. In fact, yeah, if they tap out here, next turn is probably just Yawgmoth, sack Shade, kill Druid. But they didn't tap it. Oh, they did. They're going to do that. Sure. Sure. Well, with Valky, now I like sending Shade and seeing if they're not going to trade anyway. So let's send the Shade and then decide the rest of the turn. But I think it's just still the plan. Swamp, Yawgmoth, sack Shade, kill Druid. Draw a card. Valky after. Valky can get something later. Oop, no. Gotta do this right. -1/-1 counter here. Thank you, Arena, for letting me know I was misclicking. Appreciate it. That's a common one. When you're like sacking one thing to do something to another thing, it's really easy to get the order and the targeting mixed up there. which is why digitally, because you'd never make that mistake in paper. In paper, you would just explain what you were doing. All right, I'm going to sack this to kill that, right? Yeah, an always yes for Arena is one of the, we talk, sometimes I forget what little features I would like, and the comparison of Magic Online to Arena is interesting on that front. One of my favorite Magic Online features that does not exist on Arena is taking a single effect and saying, always yield to this for the rest of the game. And I would like an always target, like, I almost want a feature that allows me to say, look, auto target, when it's target player and I could target myself or whatever, and it's stupid. This is where Magic is like, well, sometimes you want to, so, and it's like, yeah, but, you don't ever really. Anyway, yeah, default basics would be nice, though. All right, what do we got here? We can, well, let's send in our physician. Yeah, huge quality of life to be able to tell the game what stuff to not ask me about anymore. We could just... I kind of like Valky, see what they're up to, hold up Heartless Act. Looks like Rob's on that plan. Maybe Math as well. All right, they're on 5 mana, soon to be 6. We can take the Hydra out of their hand. Timeless Witness is pretty rough. But we can also kill the Ramper to keep him off 6. We can take the Witness now and then kill the Ramper. Ramper Room. That's a tough one to decide, but I am going to do that. The thing is, I could save the Heartless Act to kill this, but we can also put it 2 turns off. I don't know. Maybe we let him have this and then kill it. I'm going to let him have it and kill it. That kind of didn't matter, Alexa. Like, I feel like we got... The trouble with ditching the Hydra is that they get it back with this thing. We got to exile it, so they don't get to eternalize it. And we have the Act to take care of the big Hydra. So that was my thinking. And in fact, we can do it before we untap. That's true. I guess if he goes under Hydra, like the Witness doesn't matter. I just think the double value of Witness was got my eye, and I knew I had a plan for the Hydra. That's the bottom line. Yeah, here comes Field, right? Not Field. What's Alchemede? I don't even know what card is Alchemede. Talk about the Midnight Reaper. Oh, the land is... Yeah, there you go. Midnight Reaper? Just hold up Death for the win next turn? Probably just hold up Death. I don't know, yeah, this is somewhat lethal as well, but this is the surprise lethal, right? I'm gonna hold up Ebon Death. Doesn't look like a counter deck. I mean, they have blue. I guess they could have Epiphany. Anybody would play Epiphany, but it doesn't look like a dedicated counterspell type deck. And yeah, that's gonna be okay. This is, well, yeah, that's 5, so this is all still fine. Tap out for GG. I mean, do I care? Why do we care? I'm just gonna ebb and death and win. Yeah, that's true, though. I had them on 1 mana when they were on 2. Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, it's one of the baseline design tenets of R&D is don't make free activated abilities. Make them cost some mana so that there's no easy infinite loops. And R&D generally doesn't do that anymore, but it's a Modern Horizons 2 set, right? So like all the gloves are off on that stuff when they make Modern Horizons sets. And honestly, this is a great keep. A great 1, 2, 3 sequence for sure. Well, I could put Ridge next turn. Shields down moments are good gameplay, but like, I do think they took they've taken the Modern Horizons sets too far. It's one thing to make a new set with new cards to impact an Eternal format like Modern. It's another thing to make the format revolve around one set. Oh wait, this is the wrong land? Sorry. 2 or more. Yeah. Sorry. Good. Thanks. Almost got me. Good thing I was yammering. Although it looks like we don't have anything to get to 3 yet, so we'll. Oh, but no, this will do it on 3. Yeah, great. All right, I'm happy again. Yeah, wrong land. I was thinking of the other style, but we got there. Thanks, gang. Now it is what it is. Doing this. Yeah, I kind of figured we'd get that countered. They can't really let that resolve here. But we get Rankle next turn, or Ebb and Death even better, I suppose. Can't do either one with a tapped land. We can play Blood Artist and get in with the... Well, maybe I'm supposed to hold up Priest? Nah, probably not. It's not. I mean, I'd have to kill stuff I don't want to kill. We want to get Draco Lich out for the Priest plan. So let's send this in. That's true. I can sack it no matter what. Somehow I was thinking I needed untapped stuff. I'm just being silly with the hard game. All right, interesting. Still think we just want this. Could also Rankle. Just get Rankle on. What do you think? Rankle. Rankle for the smacks. All right, let's Rankle. And then definitely sending Rankle. We could send Valentin knowing that if they want a double block, we get the Hermit. That seems fine. So I think we'll do that. We'll send both of these. So you want to do that. We'll do this. And yeah, we can discard. That's a good idea too, Natalso. I think we do it all, right? We want to discard our Draco Lich. We want to draw something else. And what are we going to sack if we sack, though? Do we really want to do the sack part? Yeah, rankle as many of them as you want. You don't want to give well, it hurts them too. Yeah, that's true. Let's just do that. I'm doing it all. I'm doing it all. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's not right. I don't know. This is where, yeah, I just want always target my opponent. I am never going to target myself with the Blood Artist. Did you know that? Which is why in modern Magic, they would just say target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. We can go Ayara, Valky, attack, do some stuff. Could be the big 6 counter thing. You like Valky first? I was just going with the another black creature enters the battlefield sequencing, but that's fair. Although if they spend resources on Ayara, we then, yeah, Epiphany is exactly what I was afraid of, but not the worst still. This could be the worst, but well, Eldest is going to get, like, the Blood Artist. Or maybe just Valky. Valky's just a 2/1 now, since we didn't find anything. Can't take it, though. Yeah. Not what the card says. Not that I read cards. But I learned that by casting it and not being able to click on it. See? Oh, Eldest is not removal for Blood Artist. Gotcha. I hear what you're saying. Well, but that was what I was talking about. What would my choice be? Tutor. Surely we can find a way to win this game off a tutor. Is Oppo dead on attack here? Maybe so. We know their hand. We don't know this card, but everything else looks good, right? I guess we're not tutoring. We're just rankling. Okay. They're one card. They're one card that we didn't know about. Great. That's fair, Mike. Yeah, now there's no reason to swing. Now we got to figure out what we're getting with a demonic tutor. Citadel at 27 seems pretty good. If we draw a land. Gary? Yeah, maybe Gary just gets him dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's close. But now, yeah, we'll let Valky go. And it gets even closer. Oh, wait. Luris, interesting, yeah. Blood Mage. We'd have to discard the Blood Mage if we go Demonic Tutor Lurrus, but it might still be correct. Although Lurrus is going to get worse when... oh, no, sorry. This is... I was thinking of the other saga from the Theros saga, the Exile's Graveyard. So, okay, let's get Lurrus then. I know we want an empty hand, but we can also just do good things and not worry about losing this card's worth of value because we gain a Lurrus's worth of value. Not sure that was 100% correct, though. It's certainly a fine, a reasonable move. I don't know if it was, like, the best one. We only get one of these, and they're going to get the other one. I don't think the Saga can get the backside. But target creature planeswalker... Oh, maybe it does. But we'll Thoughtseize for... Yeah, we can Thoughtseize, and then... Okay, we're still going Valky Priest anyway, right? Oh, we can't do both. We only get one of those. I'm not gonna... We'll decline. That's... Interesting they even did that. Like, that just saved me 2 life. What's your Valentin play? I didn't even see. Valentin, attack with Lurrus, make a token. If they block, they're at 3, and you have 3 creatures with Blood Artist. Okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, that's a good point, though. Well... We'll hold then. Val messes up the triggers. You know what, gang? You know what's hard? Magic the Gathering. Might be so difficult, it could end our run here. Darn it, I really like this deck to be sat at a 2-3. That's a very interesting choice. I guess, yeah, they're just going after Lurrus, but, huh, I don't mind that. That's less good. That's awful. It's all slipping away from us. When your opponent gets to Time Twister and you don't, you're not in good shape, despite the 5 to 25 life lead. We could draw Citadel and maybe just dump the top of our deck so mightily that it's good. Yeah, we got a lot of time with this life total. It's just that it's slipping away from us. I didn't say we're dead. I said it's slipping away from us. And that is very much the truth. So let's keep drawing swamps. That'll get us there. Oh, God. These are actually like the worst losses. Again, not 100%, because it's not 100%. It's just that I'm 96% to lose. But I have to sit here losing for 5 minutes, chasing the 4%. Swing? How is... What's your plan, Mike? I don't understand swinging. Oh, good. It's our friend, the Scarab God again. What? They've had... You know, am I missing something? Can't this not block? Well, now we're dead. I'm... Frustrating loss, this one. Frustrating. But I had options, and I'm certainly not sure that game wasn't more winnable. We had a demonic tutor and lost. So whenever I lose having fired off a demonic tutor, I feel like I must have done something wrong. That being said, it wasn't super clear, and Magic is hard, and there were a lot of choices, a lot of tough decisions, and we made some, and they didn't work out. I imagine Lurrus can't have been the right choice, given how that played out. But that's a little results-oriented, too, in the sense that they had a good answer to Lurrus. But Citadel might have been, if we felt like we were going to be buried, and I can't remember if we made that decision pre or post clock. Clock Tower Time Twister. I don't know if the time twistering had happened yet or not, but if we needed, there comes a point where you say, look, Oppo is going to Time Twister themselves and get a fresh 7. Fresh 7. And say, like, likely the only way we beat that is to chase that level of value ourselves and get the get our Citadel. So I think I'm trying not to be results oriented because it didn't work out to get the Lurrus. But given that we knew that they were gonna get tons and tons of cards off the clock, it could have made sense for us to do something to try and get tons and tons of cards ourselves. But yeah, we were trying to close shop before they opened, but I don't know. It is hard to get Citadel when you have only 5 lands, but if you're like, we're not beating that clock going off. If that clock hits midnight, how are we beating that? And in a sense, getting Citadel on 5 lands is like not playing around the combat trick you're pretty sure they have. It's like, okay, we think they have this, or, you know, we know how this could go horribly wrong. But if we think it's the % best chance to win the game, you still do it, even if the fail case looks awful. That's one of the tougher lessons of Magic. Being willing to make correct percentage decisions in which the fail case makes you look silly. Like a good example of this is the one-lander. Keeping a one-lander and then playing out, never finding your second and playing out the land and not doing anything and then dying will make your opponent go, what were they thinking? But, you know, you have to be ready to keep the one-landers where, hey, any land in our deck and this hand is fire, right? That's a reason to keep a one-lander. And it can be hard to do things to do things that can make you look foolish when they don't work out. But it's possible that that was one of those spots. And tutoring up a card we could not cast still might have been the best percent chance to win if we felt like Citadel would give us that chance. I don't know. No, nothing's ever my fault here. It's all chat's fault. This is... Oh, we got a third win. I'm glad to see that. I just hadn't updated my record. I really didn't think this was a 2-win deck. So I'm actually... I know it... like, as if one run through an event is a measure of a deck. That being said, 3 just feels a lot better than 2 with a deck that I thought was quite good. And when it worked, we saw why we thought it was quite good. It had some stuff going on. I do listen to chat on Fridays, because mostly chat can't help but try and find good lines. It's really tough to play Magic badly on purpose. It's really easy to do it on accident. All right. That was fun, though. I'm glad there's a cube on Arena, so that we don't have to play Vow right now. I'm really kind of feeling done with Vow. So hoping they give us some non-Vow options until the next set arrives. We got Kamigawa waiting around the corner, right? That'll be cool. All right. No worries, chat. None of us are perfect at this game, and Cube is just extra hard. Like, Cube is like Constructed, except harder because there's way more individual parts, right? Like, if you're in a classic standard matchup, well, the breadth of cards that you're going to experience is smaller, and people have tight decks that have 4 copies of everything, right? So it's there's not that many different cards in my deck, but man, the singleton nature of Cube also means that as a board gets big, it's big with a bunch of unique stuff. So just the potential for the complexity of a Cube board to get exponentially more difficult is there, and also affects how hard it is to play Cube super well, which is why it's very impressive to watch the really the top players in the world mess with a format like Cube. Like, Luis doesn't even seem fair. Like, watching LSV play Cube is just almost annoying sometimes because it's like, that doesn't work for me. When I draft those cards and play those cards, it doesn't work for me like that. How do you make it work like that? It's like, it just feels like you can't lose sometimes. I mean, Magic is Magic, of course you can, but the top players finding their lines with Cube is really exciting Magic. So I will break you. Well, it bleeds so we can kill it. Something like that. Well, there's the alien line, or not the alien, there's the Predator line about it bleeds so we can kill it. But then the other but then in the Ivan Drago fight, what does the Rocky team say when Drago finally takes blood? Because that's what I was trying to think of. There was, yeah, one of the coaches says, he's not a machine, yeah, he bleeds, he's not a machine. She bleeds, she's not a machine. Thank you, pop culture addicts all. A little bit of an age test. I bet you youngsters out there haven't even seen Rocky IV. I must break you. Go for it. Man, that's an 80s movie right there. Rocky IV. Russia versus the US. Oh, man. James Brown is the godfather of soul. Not even James Brown. I love that. I didn't know that either. Live in America. That was cool seeing James Brown bust out a sudden hit in the 80s with a movie song. I am rambling. I should go get work done. I haven't even said goodbye to YouTube. Hope you like the rambling, YouTube. Hope you like the cube, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out all this way. You made it this far. If you're not liking and subscribing me yet and you're hearing this on YouTube, you should probably do that. I mean, it's a sign. Thanks. We'll catch you.